Okay, so it's been a good day. I went to the Kingdom Hall today. Went to go worship and sing songs and things like that. It's been kind of a boring weekend, really. I got kind of sick. Not really sick, just like allergies. I live here in Florida, and my body doesn't like Florida. I just keep thinking about a lot of things that it don't matter. But I was exercising. I did some sit-ups. Ugh, I don't like exercising, but I did some sit-ups. I did 60 sit-ups, I think. 30 crunches and 30 just regular sit-ups. I was doing all blanc. I was doing all blanc, but man, some of their videos were like 5 or 10 minutes long, but they're exhausting, and I just didn't feel like going through that. But I just wanted to do a little update. I did some exercises. I did them like the last couple days. Just sit-ups, jumping jacks, push-ups at night and in the morning. Um, so it's a start. What did I eat today? I had two baked potatoes, which is really like too much. I had two baked potatoes and a half a cup of that California blended veggie mix. It's broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots. It's been kind of really boring. I really don't have much to say, except for I like them posters back there because they're awesomeness. They're signed by the lady that designed them, one of the artists on that comic book series with the Transformers. I have a couple things like that because I used to be heavily into comic books and Comic-Con and all that. I used to collect Barbie dolls. I wish I could go back to it, but I tried. I had two comic book collections. I had the first one appraised. It was like $10,000, and the second one I had just started it. And every time I start something, every time I tell you, um, every time I start to do good in my life, I mean, not good, but like when my income goes from like zero, from like from like Walmart, from like minimum wage to like usually around like $75,000, I run into these snakes, and I'm not projecting my future, but I'm saying that in the past, I used to run into these people, and so anyway, so my first comic book collection was stolen by somebody that I trusted. The second comic book collection was stolen by somebody that I trusted. What happened with the first one was actually what happened with both of them was I moved. I moved out and I couldn't take everything with me. So instead of putting my things in a storage facility, I actually stored them at somebody's house that I trusted. And then when I went to go back to get my comic books, they were like, "Oh, I don't have them. I don't know. Something happened to them. They got damaged in the rain, because it flooded in my house and I lost everything. And I'm sorry, but your comic books went too, and so did your Barbie dolls." Now, my Barbie dolls, I never had appraised, but my comic books, the first section, I had been collecting comic books since the 80s. And the first comic book collection was lost or stolen or removed without my permission in probably around 2008, 2006. So from 1984 until 2000 and, no wait, 1984 to around 2000. and three I had collected these comic books. And I don't know, I had like 1,000 comic books, I think it was. I had a lot. I had like I had four of those cases, so it's probably like around 1,000 comic books, I guess. And I had them, like I said, I had them appraised. I took them to the comic book store, and the guy appraised them for me, and he said they were, for him, they were around $10,000. But he said that if I found a willing buyer, I could probably get about 25,000 for them. Yep, for comic books. But I didn't want to sell them. I wanted to keep them. But so those were stolen, and then I started another comic book collection. Oh, my Barbie dolls. I never had my Barbie dolls appraised. I didn't even think that was a thing, really. They were just pretty. And Mattel, who's bought by the Chinese now, the Mattel doesn't make dark-skinned Barbies anymore. They don't make black Barbies anymore. And so I had a lot of black Barbies. All my Barbies are black. I actually had some Barbies that some friends had given me, collectibles, and those were stolen too by the same person. And so I had another, so I decided that, well, okay, forgive and forget. So I moved on, and I started another collection of comic books. And there again, I moved, left them in the house that I, this is actually a crazy story, really. I mean, this is a crazy story. I have to say this for another day, but I had a comic book collection. I moved, and the house I lived in burned down. So I couldn't, I mean, what do you say? Nothing. So there went that, and my Barbie dolls and all my stuff went with it. So I have a little bit of stuff left, but not a lot, really. I don't have that much left. A few pieces. I have a few comic books that I bought when I haven't bought any since I moved here to Florida, but I do have some comic books, like about 5 or 6. Just kind of like, you know, I don't even know if it's worth starting all over again. It'd be like the third time. Like, oh my God, the third time again. It just gets irritating because it just gets irritating. You know, I hate when people steal from you. I hate that people steal. God blesses everybody. So if God blesses everybody, then why do you think that you need to steal from somebody? It's, just petty. Petty. I hate that word. Just childish. But anyway, the house burning down story, that's something else that I gotta say for another day because that's funny. It's actually a funny story, you know. So it's Sunday night and I'm getting ready for bed.